previous owner, there were multiple stabbings, assaults, violence all the time. They were repeatedly losing their liquor license or getting it suspended. Finally, they closed. A libertarian actually took over that property, opened it as a new restaurant and a bar, allowed for open carry, and has no problems there, right? And has actually expanded multiple times and is incredibly successful, and it's a safe, great place to go. That when it wasn't a free and open place to be, was very hazardous and dangerous to go.
Turns out you don't want to bring a knife to a gunfight, right? You also don't want to bring tear gas to a gunfight, which is why any of the protests I've been to, which have been heavily armed, not only was there no police brutality or people being tear gassed or anyone being arrested, sometimes there weren't any police there at all. I was in Virginia, in the state capitol in Richmond, at an event that was co-hosted by Black Lives Matter, Black Guns Matter, the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, the NFAC, the Black Panthers, and the Boogaloo Boys. I'm sorry, the Redacted Boys. The boys. And there were about 300 people there with guns, all heavily armed. We were the only two people there without guns. Okay? Like, seriously, we were the only two people there without guns. I'm not exaggerating. We were the only two people there without guns. We were there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. And I was giving my speech and talking about police brutality. And I said, speaking of which, where are the police? We were literally in the center of government of Virginia. Hundreds of us. Most of us, almost all of us armed. 80% of us black. There wasn't a single person, single officer within eyeshot. So after we were finished talking, we said, let's go find the cops. And so we start looking around, where are the cops? We wander all around the building, no cops. We finally see, like, 5 blocks down the road, there was a cop. There were like 2 cops by their car, and they're like this. Keep an eye, make sure everything's okay. I was perfectly fine with that. It makes perfect sense. That's their job. Make sure everything's okay. Okay. All right, perfect. So that's what they were doing. All right. So I have met with, I don't know, maybe 2,500, 3,000 heavily armed people over the past couple months in person. Many of them have had me sign their various weapons before they lose them to the tragic seas. And I've held a few of them too. But we've never felt unsafe at any point. We've never felt like anything bad was going to happen. I knew when I'm surrounded by hundreds of very, very armed people that I was in the safest single area of that state in that moment. No one who was thinking of doing a mass shooting or anything like that would go there because they'd get mass shot. So, I mean, yeah, no, if there would be a mass shooting of them, singularly. So that's, I trailed a little there, but the point of that is that when you make America from being a soft target, which is what Republicans and Democrats to varying degrees want to do, and instead allow you to be able to protect yourself, that's where safety comes from. Not just from private sector victimizers and abusers, but from those in the public sector as well. I was in Columbus, Ohio, at a Black Lives Matter protest that had Boogaloo Boys there. The police left them alone. A week prior, there were no Boog Boys there. Sorry, Redacted Boys. There were no boys there of any stripe. The week before, those same protesters doing the exact same thing in the exact same location were tear gas, pepper sprayed, most of them thrown in jail, and released the following after the weekend, the following Monday. They came back there the same weekend. This time, some Hawaiian shirt enthusiasts came out. Turned out they had some guns too. Those same police with those same protesters stayed put and let them do their thing. It's amazing what happens when suddenly a bunch of unarmed people turns into a couple that aren't unarmed. Changes everything. That's where protection comes from.